So I don't know what's really happening, but it looks like everywhere I turn to, everyone is getting into cryptocurrencies. And I mean, who can blame anyone for trying to get a little more in returns than what traditional investments typically make? Now, if you've watched my rewind video, I shared how the top stocks of 2021 made in returns under the Ghana Stock Exchange. And it's pretty amazing to know the figures, but trust me when I tell you, it's nothing compared to the crypto market. I'll leave it in the description if you want to check it out. Because if you review the top crypto of 2021, here's what you find. And I've made a spreadsheet which I think I'll post on my Instagram, so you can follow me on Instagram at AOK and to see if you're interested. Or I think I'll also leave it on the screen for you guys to see. Yeah. So you see that 10th on the list, which is Polkadot, started the year at a price of $10.03, and it ended the year at $31.33. So that's about three times its price. It tripled in return over three times. That's about 3x in return. And that's one thing I've realized happened with almost all the cryptocurrencies in the top 10 list for 2021. Now, you can see Tether also started the year at 0.6619, so literally in cents, and ended at $99. That's about more than 1,000% in, like, literally it's about 1,000,000% in return. And you can see that's the trend for almost all the cryptocurrencies. USD coin, that's a stable coin, so didn't really go that much in value. XRP, Cardano, Solana started with $2 and ended with $198. Amazing. Tether, Binance coins, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, the big boys. So literally that's what you realize when you go through this review of the top crypto of 2021. Literally they all started at a low price, and the returns they made at the end of the year were absolutely incredible. And in my own opinion, I think it's way better than trying to find altcoins which has the potential of increasing in value but are way risky. But there's one thing I want you guys to note: these aren't the top cryptos of 2021 based on the returns, because if you are supposed to add meme coins like Shiba Inu and other altcoins with a 43 million% in a return gain, then most of these cryptocurrencies are not even going to be part of the list, but rather they are the top gainers of 2021 based on their trading volume, their market cap, and other factors. So that's one thing to keep note of. But one thing that I've realized is from the onset, only a few of the cryptocurrencies which were part of the top crypto are still part of the top crypto. Because if you were to look into the year 2013, when the first cryptocurrency was created, we had big cryptocurrencies or big projects like Namecoin, Peercoin, TerraCoin, DaveCoin, NovaCoin, some of which don't even exist anymore or have drastically reduced in value from when they started. Out of the 14 coins which were created in 2018, only two are still remaining, which is Bitcoin and Litecoin. But one thing is for sure, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two big boys, have continuously proven that they belong at the top. I tried to make this experimental by trying to put 100 Ghana cedis in each of the top cryptocurrencies starting from 2018, and from that, this is what I realized. Now I'm going over on the screen to show you guys. I have a little spreadsheet which I'm also going to leave on my Instagram, and I'm going to show you guys. Let me start the screen recording process. Yeah, so as you guys can see, this is my spreadsheet. Yeah, I'm okay with Excel. Now the first thing you realize from the spreadsheet is the price of each of the top cryptocurrencies, and starting from 2018. So 2018, you can see the top cryptocurrencies. We have Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. You can see all of them up to the 10th on the list being Tron. And on here we have the price, and this just basically means the price at which Bitcoin started and the price at which it ended. So at the beginning of 2018, Bitcoin was around $16,477, and it ended at 3,800, and it ended at $3,865, so roughly. And that goes basically for the rest of the top cryptocurrencies, the price they started and the price they ended. And the next portion is the investment. This basically shows if you bought 100 of each of the cryptocurrencies. So if you bought 100 Bitcoin, this is how much you would have in Ghana cedis. Okay, it's supposed to be in dollars, but I made it Ghana cedis, and this is what you'll be having at the end of the year. And the total session just shows the total. Now, when it comes to the equity balance, this just shows how much you have in terms of value or equity. So basically, the formula is the amount you have at the end of the year minus what you have at the beginning of the year. So if you bought Bitcoin at the beginning of the year, if you bought 100 Bitcoin at the beginning of the year, you have $1.6, but I chose to use Ghana cedis at the beginning of the year. But at the end of the year, you have only 386k worth of Bitcoin. So your total value will be negative 1.2 million Ghana cedis or dollars. Let's just use the Ghana cedis. Yeah. And this will be how much Bitcoin you own in terms of the price. So this will be the price equity, and this will be the monetary value. Now, in the percentage return just shows how much you made in return, basically. So it basically shows the return in percentages, and this just shows almost every cryptocurrency in 2018 made a loss, with Bitcoin having negative 76.54%, and the rest just following the total percentage return. If you bought each of the 10 top cryptocurrencies, will be negative 698.11%. And with the last portion, we have 100 Ghana cedis investment, because I know not everyone can buy Bitcoin or the other cryptocurrencies at the price being mentioned. So if you made 100 Ghana cedi investment in the top cryptocurrencies, this is what is going to be left. So making 100 Ghana cedis in the top 10 cryptocurrencies means you are basically investing 1,000 Ghana cedis into the cryptocurrency market, and with that, out of the 1,000 Ghana cedis, you'll be left with negative 698.11, basically in 2018. And if you go down, you see I've just listed some scenarios and what would have happened if those scenarios came into play. So the first scenario is, if you invested in just the top 5 cryptocurrencies, you would have made a negative percentage return of 509%, and this is just the monetary value. And if you made a 1,000 Ghana cedis investment, basically investing 100 Ghana cedis into each, you would have been left with negative 426 Ghana cedis. And that's just the same for the other scenario. So you can basically go into it. And that's one thing I love about basically having a spreadsheet. You just have the ability to put all your info, all your figures into one place, and just present it in a way that's really understandable for people who might not really understand how the cryptocurrency or how a lot of investment things work out. So that's basically for 2018. When you move to the second spreadsheet, we have the 2019 spreadsheet. And here, one new thing I added was basically cryptocurrencies that hasn't been part of the top 10 lists at the end of the year. So basically, in 2018, moving to 2019, some of the top 10 cryptocurrencies were replaced. So looking at this, Tron was basically replaced. It was no longer part of the top 10 cryptocurrency list in 2019, even though I added it to show the price, because it's coming into 2019, Tron was still part of the 20, but at the end of 2019, it was no longer part. Too. And this is going to reflect in the 2020 spreadsheet when we move towards that. But basically, everything is the same. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin started at $476, ended at 742. So that was a profit. In terms of the percentage return, you can see it made 82.08%. And if you made 100 Ghana cedis investment, your equity will be basically 82.08 Ghana cedis. That's how much equity you would have in Bitcoin. And that goes for other cryptocurrencies: Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Stellar, Bitcoin SV. And you can see the total. Basically, everything is the same. And the scenarios: if you invested in the top five cryptocurrencies, this will be your percentage return. This is the amount you would have after you made a 1,000 Ghana cedis investment. And basically that's it. So let's move on to 2020. 2022, basically the same thing. This is really a good spreadsheet that I think everyone should try and go through. But I do think I didn't get all the in terms of the information. I got everything correct, but maybe in terms of the calculation, I feel I did a little bit of mistake. So you can go through and just see if everything is all right. I'll try and see. I was in a little bit of a rush, so I'll try and see if everything is all right, and I'll let you know. But if you guys can go through and just let me know if my calculations are correct, that would be also helpful. So basically, you can see in 2020, Stellar and Tron were no longer part of the top 10 cryptocurrency list, and you can see Tron is no longer part. Yeah, they were replaced with Monero and Bitcoin SV, whatever that is. So I think I like to think this nice with the last year being 2021. You can see Bitcoin started at 32,000 basically and ended at 50,000. So quite a percentage returned was made from Bitcoin, 54.99%, and that goes for the rest of the cryptocurrencies. You can see Chainlink made a 68.57% return. And if you made 100 Ghana cedis return investment in each of the top 10 Guinness list, this is the amount you'll be having in equity. So basically, and of course you have your scenarios there just to see if you invested in the top 5 cryptos, the top 3, the top 10, what you would have made. And like I said, at the end of 2021, Monero, Bitcoin SV, and EOS were no longer part of the top crypto list. But if you move over from the percentage return with the top crypto list, you can see here I've done something, and this is just the total equity you'd have made if you invested in the top 10 cryptocurrencies beginning from 2018. So if you always invested in the top 10 cryptocurrencies from 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, this what your total equity will be looking like. So starting with the top 10 cryptocurrencies at 2018, if you invested in the top 10 cryptocurrencies of 2018, that's with 1,000 Ghana cedis investments, you will be left with negative 698 Ghana cedis. Moving on to 2019, you'll be at negative 738 Ghana cedis with your 1,000 Ghana. Basically, that will be a 2,000 Ghana cedis investment because that you are investing 1,000 Ghana cedis each year. Moving on to 2020, you'll be at 584 Ghana cedis. So as much as it can be extremely rewarding to go for the altcoins, 99% of the time I'll just say it's going to be way better to invest in the top cryptocurrencies, as my spreadsheet says. And out of even the top 10 cryptocurrencies, it's going to be way better to invest in the top 2, Bitcoin and Ethereum. But that's not to say you shouldn't invest into altcoin, because there's not only one way to get the holy grail. If you do want to invest into altcoins, I just think you should research beforehand, and you can use this just a little research to consider before you plan on investing into cryptocurrencies. One thing that I would say is that only invest with money that you are comfortable losing, and if you make some gains from cryptocurrencies, don't be afraid to cash out, because you are just in the early stages and no one really knows where this whole cryptocurrency thing is going to go in a few years from now. We don't know, it might crash or it might go to the moon. No one really knows. So you should only invest with what you feel comfortable with, and don't be afraid to take out some gains. So before I end this video, I know some of you might be hesitant to get into the whole cryptocurrency space. So I just found a new platform that makes it extremely easy to buy cryptocurrencies. Not crypto, only Bitcoin in Ghana. So if you want to own a little bit of Bitcoin, but not that willing to enter into that whole blockchain space, then I think the platform is called Yellow Card. I'll leave it in the link in the description if you want to check it out. I think if you use the link, you get, I think, 15 Ghana cedis worth of Bitcoin, and I'll also um I think I'll send using a random YouTube picker to just randomly select any of you guys who use the link. I will just select one person and send a little bit of Bitcoin, nothing much, but something small. So yeah, I think that's it. It's just going to help anyone who is hesitant on just getting into the crypto space. Um, just get into it. So I think that's the end of today's video. If you got some value out of today's video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to smash the like button and share the video. Please share the video. Thank you so much, and till we meet again, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.